Yeah, so obviously we had this came over from Manscaped.
Big up Manscaped, man.
Yeah, large up Manscaped still.
Sent this. Can they still hear me?
Yeah, big them up, fam. It
Yeah,
comes all
sent this
all
over.
nice and packaged and that.
So what's the test out? And
Know what I'm
I must say, I wouldn't promote it if I didn't test it out.
Is he not even lying?
Yeah, like straight away. Like, as soon as it come, I charged it and I tested it, and
Mine come charge, you know.
yeah, did it come charged? Yeah, mine was charged, but I just wanted to make sure. You know what I mean? So it's a big area down there. So, but
Make sure when you go on the manscaped.com website, you put in the code Road to Wembley, ROAD 2 WEMBLEY. Road to Wembley. You know, I even had the funny thing. Imagine when we're going back and forth with my man, big him up anyway. I ain't gonna say his name on the emails. Yeah, at one point he asked me what size am I. I think, what do you mean what size
the
am I?
boxes.
But I didn't even know that we come in boxes. This is what I'm trying to say. We don't even know what size. I'm thinking, what size? What size am I?
bro. You're different, you know.
You know what? No, I ain't gonna lie, yeah, but every man must get this.
100%.
If you're using your missus's razor to shave them balls and that, whatever, yeah.
Or the
stop
man that are
using-
using the V
stop-
and all them
yeah,
things.
I think that's 4.0 as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
you
4.0
need to
is the
use
one.
this because every clippers I've used before, you always get a little nick, like the pain and whatever and that. But this does not hurt. This does not nick or anything. This is the perfect clipper for down there. Trust me. Trust me. Listen, I ain't gonna lie.
I tested it.
Listen,
I ain't gonna lie, I tested it.
bro. I ain't gonna lie. It's not like, you know what I mean, they're giving us anything for this. I'm just being honest. Like they said, test it out for us, and I tested it. And
We
he's
say it's
he's
the
true
truth.
to his word.
I didn't even. The thing is, I got my mum
true to
come
his word.
today, so I didn't even get a chance. to
100%. It's
we
worth
say
it.
it's the truth.
Nah,
yeah,
it's the
it's
truth,
the
man. I can't even
Use it in the shower. Use it in the shower and that.
I didn't use it in the shower.
I was a
so
little
don't-
bit shook. I ain't read
You
the
know what I
things,
mean?
but-
I don't know if you can use it like while you're in the shower, the water and that.
I think you can, you know.
Can you?
Because it's got the rinse thing on it. So
Oh, is it?
if you can wash it, then
But
you can
whatever,
use it.
like before the shower, it was definitely, there was no pain, no nick, nothing. It was just clean and
big.
easy.
Yeah, big up Manscaped, man. Don't
Yeah,
forget.
go and get the 4.0.
So go and get the, use the code Road to Wembley at manscaped.com and you get a discount using our code.
Oh, is he with them people? Oh, yes, he is, isn't it? Yeah, for real. For real. And them brothers know the game.
We good?
That's why the sky's the limit. Man. Nah, but you need that though. You need like people experience things so they can take you to the next level. Otherwise, we're never gonna have that. Do you know what I mean? And then that open doors for the next level.
Yeah, Dave's cold, fam. He's just a different.
Do you think we got a superstar in this country?
Dave's a superstar, man.
Yeah, Dave's a superstar, man.
Easy.
Is he more of a superstar than Stormzy?
No.
Won't say more. More
More
though.
talented,
Maybe
but
the same,
not
though.
more of a thing. Stormzy's a brand, bro.
There you go.
I don't know. Is he thinks more talented? No, man. I think they're all. I think they're talented.
They're both talented, but
Yeah,
I'm
they're all
just saying,
When it
definitely.
comes to what the
like the all that kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Stormzy's a brand.
The nations.
He plays the game
Stormzy's-
so well.
It's always like as high as you're gonna
Yeah,
get.
don't like how
He's
they
like the
have
golden
with
boy, innit?
Beckham.
Yeah,
Stormzy studied the game, man.
Yeah,
Like he
yeah,
took
yeah.
stuff from Tiny when he's going on Jonathan Ross. The way he talks, tells the stories. You know what I mean? He's just charismatic.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is as well? I just think he's just true and humble.
Just real, yeah.
I just think he's just a humble guy. I think like when you're just a humble person and you're just likable, I just think he's just gonna get. What
He's
you
likable though. He's very likable.
God fearing in there as well.
I think that is the main thing. I think
100%.
God being your main thing, I think you're just gonna get where you need to go from. If you just be true to yourself and have God in your heart.
That's it.
I think there's much more to it than
I
that.
don't believe in God, man. So.
I knew you was gonna
This
say
is
that.
what I'm saying, then man there, but this is what I'm
You know,
saying.
the girl mash, I'm trying to say
It's in
some
March,
shit.
bro.
Even in
Well,
March.
you didn't-
If he don't find it in there, he ain't finding it.
That's how them two met each other, innit?
Hey, if I can't find him in March, thank you, bro.
That's what I'm saying. You ain't
If I can't find him in March, I ain't finding him nowhere,
He's
bro.
one stubborn guy when it comes to
Have you
God.
just got no belief whatsoever?
Nah, but you know
I'm
why
open,
though?
I'm
'Cause
like, I'm
you
not
know,
really
you know what
religious.
pissed me off though, right? Because people go jail and they find God. I'm like,
That's why you got time on your hands, innit?
People don't go
But
to
let me
jail,
t- let me
people find.
no.
people go
Let me
through-
finish,
Don't let him
bro.
use that as an excuse.
Let me
people-
finish.
No, people,
Let me finish.
people at their lowest point can find God. You can find God at
Thank
any
you.
point in your life.
Thank-
It's
no,
not
no,
about-
no, 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 no. But
But
thank
I know,
you.
I hear what you're saying.
Come
Shouldn't
on,
have to be
man.
that.
No.
Thank you. It's about your state of mind.
But excuse me. So you're finding God at your lowest point.
Or highest.
But no,
Yeah.
no, hold on. But when you're at the highest, when you're out there doing your thing, spending the cash, like banging the chicks, where's God then?
What are you talking about?
But hold on.
What do you mean?
What? Hold on. You're praying to God before you smash someone. You're meant to get married. If you're believing God, if you're a true believer,
There's God and religious. Though,
Exactly.
All right,
We're
cool.
talking about your
We're
relationship.
okay,
with
we're
it,
talking
man.
about God,
We're
yeah.
not talking about the religious side of it.
But in Marsh, a lot of people found the religious side of it.
I think when you talk about Marsh and you talk about religion and all that, I think to an extent you're letting yourself down because you're a very intelligent guy. So you know that the way you've described couple comments to me is like, brother, come on, man, you can't tarnish everyone in one brush, bro.
But I'm
You
not
know
tarnishing
that.
everyone though. But I'm coming for you.
that.
First of all, yeah, you're an African man, so you grew up with religion in your blood, same as me. Yeah, so I knew that. My brother's a pastor, and so I already know the religion. All my family are religious. Yeah, I'm like the black sheep of the family, innit? Right, but I went to I went to Belmarsh, right?
You know that he's rebelling.
I know.
It's not that I'm already.
You got a story as to why, innit?
No,
It's not even that,
it's
but
not-
I know
it's
where
not
he's gonna come
It's
from.
not even that
He
I'm
don't have to
rebelling.
do it
Yeah,
now,
I
but
just
I know.
feel like when I went in, a lot of people, like that I spoke to, and told me what they did, and like, oh no, I found Allah, and I found God. And like, oh, you should come over, bro. I just love, you know me, innit? Like, when we was in there, I all kept it real.
Yeah.
I wasn't saying, oh, yeah, you know what, I might try it. Nah, bro. I was like, what? Nah, man,
But
not
then
me,
there's
bro.
a difference between finding God and religion, like being religious.
No,
because obviously, most of these religions, well, like certain were given to us. Do you know what I mean? As black people,
Yeah.
but that doesn't tarnish your relationship with God.
No, I'm not saying it does, though. I'm just saying at the moment when I went in, I just didn't feel like the people were genuine. I felt like people at the lowest are just looking for something to hold on to.
Yeah, but alright, cool. Let's imagine they're looking for something to hold on to. Yeah, what's the problem in that?
Nothing's the problem with that. But just before we carry on, I'd just like to introduce our guest for this week, S. Shola. You know, thank you for coming. Really appreciate this talk.
That's cool, bro.
You know,
That's
so,
down, bro.
you know, we started this show, Road to Wembley, and we wanted to talk about sports. We wanted to talk about the street life, music. We wanted to talk about everything, you know. So just life.
Yeah, just life, man.
And, you know, we all kind of came out of the same area, London. Some of us went a certain way. And, you know, we just want... S is on the show. I want him to tell his own story. Please, S, if you can just give us your background and where you came from and how it all started.
Best looking personal trainer.
Yeah.
Yeah, please follow him. This is his
I feel like
Instagram.
he's digging at me because when I first came in, he was like, he's looking at my socials, and he's like, what, the one with the top off? I was like, raw.
Like more come up.
Yeah,
Yeah, only
yeah.
you one that come up, but you still say what? With the top off it.
Only one come up.
It's
That's
cool.
why I'm just
So if only one come up, why are you asking?
because I had to double check because one without and one with.
It's like that. It's like
There
that.
was
I
one
don't
without
mind.
and
It's
one
like
with,
that. It's
bro.
like that. It's like that. Just pay for a package. I got you, bro. You can back off your top anyway.
you're on your thing
Back
right
off
now,
your top
innit?
on the
No, I'm
show,
on the
bro.
gym
You're on your
right now.
thing,
I'm on the
diet
gym team
and
right
all
now.
that, yeah?
That's
Okay.
it. That's it.
I'm on the gym team right
Yeah,
now.
If
mind
you want a
and body,
personal
man.
training, please reach out to S. You know what I mean? Best looking personal trainer.
Go
You
check
know,
out the photo.
check out his page. You
Yeah,
know,
check out the photos,
you know,
man.
so check out his
Topless,
workout
all day.
You know, it's really doing his thing. But yeah, so let's get into it. S, you know, tell me about the background, how it started, and where you came from.
So yeah, I'm S. Shola, from West London, Shepherd's Bush.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I've been up since 12 years old.
12 years old,
Yeah, 12 years
you've been
old.
on the road.
Yeah, I've been on the roads like since 12, man, just trying to make things happen. It started off from when I got kicked out of school. I went to an all-boys school, and my background, not being Nigerian and being raised in a household with other siblings, you know how it gets, it's competitive. Like, if you're not about yours, ain't no one got time to be picking up your litter. You need to make it happen. But education was a forefront in my house. If it meant sitting down for 3-4 hours reading after school, then that's what my dad would make us do. So that was one side of it. Then obviously my dad wasn't there. He wasn't there for the best. He hasn't been there for the best part of 15, 20 years. I ain't seen the man since. The last time I actually saw him was when I got convicted at court for firearms at a young age, but we'll move on to that when we get into it. However, I went to an all-boys school. Most of my siblings are girls. So going to an all-boys school from primary school was like a shock for me. So I was always getting into fights. Like me and my cousin, we just run around yeah, man. You know Halloween, you be buying your Halloween mask. You're just terrorizing everyone. Fireworks on the bus, throwing eggs at people. All these type of things where you're laughing it off, It's a joke when it's happening, but you're not taking life serious. Looking back at it, now when you see you got kicked out of school, and now when you see they put you to a pupil referral unit, these are things that they're grooming you, yeah, to get you prepared for what's to come. Do you get what I'm saying? And they call it the system. That's how they mask it. So now when you're getting nicked and you're sitting in a police cell and shit's getting real, your mum's waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. She's got to go work, but she's got to come to the station to make sure you're good. So as an appropriate adult. So man's getting into it, still taking life for a joke. Before you know it, I actually had an opportunity to go back to mainstream schooling. So I always had education to fall back on. So I went one of them roadmen that you just see, just forever riff-raff, no goals, no nothing, no direction. Do you get what I'm saying? It's just that I feel like when you're at that age and when you're now getting involved in things like road and culture and lifestyle, depending what your subculture is. My subculture being that I grew up on an estate and I grew up on like a notorious estate in West London, being White City, rough and whatever else. Like these things start becoming, the habits you start picking up start becoming second nature. It doesn't become a habit because of the environment that you're in. Do you get what I'm saying? So off the back of that, I'm now getting into trouble. I'm not even taking what I'm getting into seriously.
Did you see it as trouble because everyone around you is doing the same thing?
Well,
or did you just see it as life?
Well, that's why I'm saying it became normal, because you do see it as life, because it's now second nature. It's not something that you're stopping yourself at. Your peer group is doing the same thing as you. So you got no one that's going to say, yo, hold up a minute, why are we going to... Do you get what I'm saying? So it was like that for a little while. Anyways, before you know it, as a kid, you always want to be a big man, innit? So you start doing big man things. And as the saying goes, if you're going to want to get a job done properly, you're not saying a boy to do, you do a man to do a job, innit? You're not saying a man to do a big man's job. So you're getting involved in all these things. And I remember one thing my dad used to say to me, like, "Rah, I feel like you want to be a hardened criminal. Huh? You want to be a hardened criminal, like?" And I'm thinking, what's he on about? Do you get what I'm saying? But he can see it. He can see the escalation. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
It's gone from the petty stuff.
It's gone from the petty
fireworks
stuff
on the bus where
to
it's just like
you know what I'm trying to say.
You see there's unnecessary trouble. That's what it is.
Yeah. So, and he's a man that he'll tell you straight, I got enough kids. If you ain't got time to be looking up, like holding up for you, I got enough kids. If you don't fit stuff, I'm gone. Like I'm doing me kind of thing, regardless. So, but my mum, she always stood by, man. That's one woman through every day that I done behind the door. She's prayed for, man. If you was one of my sisters now and you said, oh, like, you want to take my mum out to wherever, she's saying, I'm not going anywhere till my son comes home. Like, I'm not having a life till my son has a life. So, my mum rid for me. So, I did the best part of about 10 plus years behind the door. Initially, I got done for firearms.
But before you get to the firearms, like, was you in a gang? Let's say there was just a few of you in the area.
I wouldn't even say that, because I'm not even going to entertain all that. Gang and associates and we're groups, but we don't want to call it gang. If it's a gang, it's a gang. You know what I'm saying? If it's a gang, it's a gang. However, I feel like when we do come to labels, I feel like me myself as a black man, I got to be careful of the labels I attach to myself and to attach to my culture, if that makes sense. Because we're the ones with the powers in our hands. What's happened is that when I'm now going to prison and I'm entertaining all these other things and these kids are doing what they're doing, it's because we've passed like Thor's got the hammer. It's like we've passed that hammer of power over to them. Do you get what I'm trying to say? That's how I view it. Being that if I'm now out on the roads doing all type of craziness, who's going to come take my freedom? Who's going to come take... like, what's normality to me? What I know is normality. Going to the fridge, opening the fridge, having something to eat, going to link a girl, or going to go watch something or eat at a nice restaurant, or sit down and make a plan to achieve your dreams. The moment you kind of, I'd say maybe let things go by you, whether it's your emotions or whatever the reason is, because any of us sitting in this room can end up in jail. Don't get it twisted. It's not like it's attached to a specific type of people. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It could be any situation, any circumstance. You walk out here now, a man want to just G-check you. That's jail. So for me, sometimes I control how I conduct myself because I know where it could get to. I've got much more to lose. Now, like I was saying, when that power is taken from you, and I feel like we've handed that power to the powers that be, because then they just feed you the bullshit. Do you get what I'm trying to say? They turn around and tell you, oh, crime is escalated to this, or oh, it's because of gang this, or oh, it's because of youth clubs and all this other stuff. But how many years has the mother's been campaigning for? 20, 30, 40
So
years.
this is what I was going to say to you. So a man like us that are really from it, how do we change it? Because really and truly, us going through certain things, we never really have the conversation about how we're going to come together and change it. We just always talk to each other about what we're going, but we don't.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm gonna come back to when I initially came in here and we was talking about the Instagram. Even though we laughed about it, we was talking about the picture. But let me know if it's just me. But I'm sure if I say it, every other brother's gonna feel what I'm saying right now. Sometimes you walk past another black man on the street, yeah? And don't tell me if it's me. And there seems to be a level of tension.
Always.
Tension.
We made a conscious thing about this.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I'll be real with you. But let me tell you this.
Yeah.
When if you ask him, every time I come where we are, I don't walk without a mask.
Yeah.
You understand? Like if you ask anyone, you never see me without a mask on.
Yeah.
And that's only because I might see someone that has the same mentality as me. You understand me? And that mentality's got to break. But it can only break if I've got faith in the other person.
I wouldn't even. Okay, that's a valid point, because we need to have faith in each other as human beings.
Yeah, it's not
You
just
gotta
about. It's
build
not
faith,
just,
Yeah.
exactly.
So that's a very valid point. However, why is there a level of tension when I'm walking past my fellow black brother? Do you get what I'm trying to say? Why? Like, why is it because if I'm dressed a certain way or I talk a certain way, or if you address, or even if, like, sometimes I have discussions with girls, I've got a lot of female friends, and sometimes I pull them up on their behaviour, and sometimes their go-to is, oh, these are the micro aggressions that I face at work. But hold on a minute, I'm taking you to a restaurant, you're screwing at your face. Why are you screwing at your face? The waiter's made a mistake, they're human beings just like you. Why are you making at your face? No, I never. You did, and you're giving it the whole aggression thing and all these other things. And the moment there's a word of, you know what? That's not how you should. That's not you. And that's not how you should conduct yourself. Ain't you tired? But automatically people get defensive. Like, nah, these are the microaggressions. Like, no. Sometimes we gotta call each other on.
Yeah, we gotta check ourselves.
Yeah, we gotta check ourselves. And us as people, and I'll keep it real. Us being black kings or queens, we don't address each other enough. We don't pull each other enough. And when we do it, it's the way we deliver it.
That's
The delivery counts.
And how you receive people back if you're ready to receive it.
But
And
we
it's-
have to be willing to receive it. We don't.
If you keep asking that question, how do we change things? That's what, like you said, like, you have to be willing to, from when you've asked that question, that's the start. How do we change things? So that's a start already. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Is now, okay, having to accept the answer to that. Do you get what I'm saying? And then it comes back to leading by example. So when I'm out here saying, oh yeah, best looking PT, my thing is not just an image thing. It's not just about my ego. It's also about mental health. It's also about your well-being, how you feel within yourself, your confidence, how you're the source.
How
If
you carry yourself.
How you carry yourself. You're the source. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So if you're continuing with that energy, then everything that has, I'd say, been taken away from you, whether you've lost it, whether it's been a mistake of your own or whatever, is you're now in a position to gain it back tenfold, you know? Like we was talking about religion and this and that, but my faith helped me. So when you're able to be in a position where you can quote the word and see, like, you know what? It's better the things I know than the things that I don't know. So that way you're better prepared for, because everything's a test. Do you get what I'm saying? For the days that I've spent like 6 months down block in segregation, you know, what, because I had drugs or I had a phone or whatever the suspicion or allegation was. To them, I'm against the system. I'm not conforming, as they say. When you're going up to parole hearings and they're telling you you're not getting released. One time I went for release 4 times. Izzy will know. When you're getting out of there, they'll send you to a DCAT. Then they're entertaining you, giving you a couple of days out here and there, and it's like dangling a carrot in your face, as if they're doing you a favor. And then off all of it, they call it it begins with resettlement. So, we settle back into the community, this and
how
that,
you're gonna
work, how you're going to survive, how you're going to cope, all these type of things, yeah. But the moment they feel like you're not conforming to what they want you to do, they're taking them privileges away from you. Do you know how many times I've been kicked out of open prison, either on suspicion or on some jealousy from peers or whatever the case may be?
Do you think it's like a case of your reputation perceives you because they've already made up their mind about you?
Yeah.
Bro, you see, like, we kind of got to the end. I want to start at the beginning.
Yeah, go on.
No. I know he has to. I
This
know.
conversation is as important as you're going to get.
No, 100%. It's so important what you're telling us. You know what I mean? It's very important. But you got done for firearms.
Thank you. Yeah.
Right. At what age?
At 17.
At 17.
Yeah. 16, 17. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Then actually, you had to go to court. So you went to court. They had your remand, before the court. So they already banged you up. So how long was you on remand for before you had to go and fight your case?
So I was on remand for like a year.
What prison?
I was in Feltham at the time.
Yeah.
I was only about 17 then. In Feltham at the time, got not guilty. My case was in the youth court. Didn't think nothing of it. Thought, yeah, not guilty all the way. Not gonna go into too much detail on the case, but I was like, yeah, not guilty all the way. I'll be home. Anyways, I remember I'll never. One thing about that case, I'll never forget it. I remember the barrister coming to the shutter downstairs where they hold the prisoners, and he said, "Oh, they're offering you a deal," and I was like, "Nah." So this deal initially, I could have just done 6 months in jail for a gun, yeah. So I said, "No, I'm not doing that." I said, "I'm not doing that because as much as I'm going through the BS, I've still got my own dreams and aspirations. So I know what the consequences are going to be if I'm pleading guilty to charges such as firearms and all these type of things." So I've said, "Nah, I'm not guilty all the way." Anyway, he's come back downstairs after we've said no to the deal and said, "Oh, they want to take your case now to Crown Court." Now it's getting serious. If it was youth court, the maximum youth court could give you at that time was 2 years because I'm under the age of 18. Cut the long story short, had to come back to court on another day, and I've gone to trial with my co-defendant. He's ended up busting case, meaning he's ended up all charges dropped. My case has gone on to a second trial. It was the second trial now where the prosecution have used everything that was in my favour on the first trial to now use it against me in the second trial. So for example, when it came to like my tracksuit bottoms or where they thought the gun was, they're telling me in the first trial, I'm saying it's impossible I could have had that gun because I had no string in my tracksuit bottoms. And you're saying I'm holding a 15 kilo gun, a 9mm. You're saying I've got that on me and I'm running at 60 miles per hour per road, doing a 100-meter run up the road, and that's not dropping or going off or whatever. I said, that's not my strap. Cool. Second trials come, they're talking about, yes, we know there's not a string in his thing, but there's an elastic in there. You see these little things. So
didn't your barrister pull them up on what they said in the first case?
Listen. See, when it comes to law, not everything is as black and white as it is in the community.
Bro, I know that, bro.
You get what I'm trying to say?
I've seen that situation, bro.
Yeah, you know that firsthand. So,
bro, I hear your thing, bro. 100%, bro. I know what you're,
exactly.
what you're talking about. But I didn't think they were able to change where they were going, like with their.
Now let me tell you something. They've been able to change everything they've been doing when it comes to law from the moment they wrote it, because another big stain outside of IPP, indeterminate sentence for public protection, which is what I was serving at 17 years old when I actually got a guilty. And that's a sentence I shouldn't even have received at that age.
17.
At 17, not giving a man a release date. No one was harmed in the crime. So let's just put that out there. No one was harmed. Yeah. And nor was a gun exposed or whatever to endanger anybody.
If there was one.
Thank you. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So moving on from that, the greatest other point is the joint enterprise. Now, when I was 17 sitting in Feltham, the amount of young men, black and white, that was involved in joint enterprise. Now, joint enterprise at that time meant that you could be at a scene with a crime. We could all go out now to a nightclub. Let's say Izzy gets into it. Now, let's say worst case scenario, someone gets hurt. Now, because that one person got hurt, they're saying that we know that we was all involved and we knew that Izzy had plans to do whatever. This is what they're saying. This is what they're putting on people. Teenagers, kids. Yeah, kids. So kids that are coming back from a background similar to mine, where you're from a council estate. Your education is not the same as it would be a public school boy or private school, whatever they call it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Your environment, all these other factors that play into it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Your mum does not wake up in the morning and watch Judge Judy. She knows nothing about all that type of stuff. Because when she brought man out in this world, she wasn't expecting for you to be involved in. We're not living in the States where your mum's got to tell you if your policeman stops you, put your hands on the dashboard and don't get shot. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Over here, it's different. All they know is about working and being civil and looking after your family. They don't know about all of this. Oh, when you're walking down the road, Jakes are gonna make a situation of stopping you or these. It's a modern day jungle. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And I feel like that's where the what's the word I'm looking for? Disparity. That's where it lies. That's where there's the gap in the generation, because our generation of mums and dads, their thing was come over here, work and provide for your family. They're not thinking about a man's going to pull up and do X, Y, Z, or it could get into a situation. This is where our generation or the generation that's coming is getting lost. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So, because that's what's becoming normal, to pull up on something
But it's been happening though.
But it's
even
been
from
happening.
them,
Even
it's
before,
like it's a little bit and now it's gone.
And now it's gone AWOL.
Yeah, because it's so normal.
Yeah, because it's so normal. But what I'm trying to explain is that with our parents, it's that understanding.
Yeah.
Because it could be happening, but if it's on your doorstep and you're seeing it, it's if you choose to believe what's going on out there. Yeah. Does that make sense? It's like if my mum sees me with a lot of money now, does she choose to believe that I got that money in legitimate way? Do you get what I'm trying to say? Or can she see that now society's painting that all the man them out here is getting or doing things unlegitimately and whatever, then you gotta think about it. Your parents are gonna start thinking, nah, not my son. What are you talking about? My 100%. Son goes to church on a Sunday.
100%.
My son is polite. My son, all these aunties and that.
Around everyone.
Yeah, he'd be around everyone. They love him and whatever. Do you get what I'm
still
trying
have
to say?
that respect though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Within the community, you still respect your mother. You still respect your aunties. You still respect people
fully. So
they don't want to see it.
They don't. There you go. They don't want to believe that. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So now it just comes to come back to being real. And so I went prison.
No, so you were saying like I think you left it at the part when you was in court. They offered you 6 months. You said no. You went. Now they want to take it to Crown Court. Yeah. And from the first trial, they changed. Now they changed their tactics using the first trial against you. Yeah. So
that's what
you're saying. So now they're saying you had a string.
So watch this now. I ended up getting a guilty. I got the guilty. And I remember when I was sitting in Feltham and my barrister come to see me, and I'll tell you something for free. When them barristers, you don't even get to chat to them till your case is in court. Don't think they're coming to visit you in prison, especially now that legal aid funds have gone down and all this type of stuff. For you to see your barrister in prison, your money best be up, bro. Because legal aid ain't looking after you. So your barrister's not going to come when he could be at a trial where he's earning £200, £300 an hour to come sit down for you for several hours and earn £50. It's not happening. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I remember at the time, which it wasn't as bad as it is now, but I remember at the time he's come to see me and he was going through all my sentence options, how long I'm looking at. I remember it was me that asked him about IPP. He didn't ask me about IPP.
So the judge, you got guilty, straight away the judge said...
the judge said he wants a report. So the report goes to the probation service and they have to write a pre-sentence report on you, which is basically about your life story, what you're on, who you hang around with, how likely it's going to be to you commit another crime and all this type of stuff. And then once they do the report, they make a recommendation to the judge. So it's on the judge if he wants to take that recommendation. Cut the long story short, The judge didn't take the recommendation. I think the woman at the time said, yeah, just give me a little sentence. He's good. He's not a bad kid. Just give me a little sentence. You know what I'm saying? My man said, wow, you know what, S? See you. And I'll be real with you. At the time when I got convicted, Reece Jones got killed. The little 11-year-old from Liverpool.
Liverpool, wow.
And London had the highest murder rate at that time. About 28 that died that year. So he's like, listen, you see the culture you belong to? Yeah? I see what you lot are keeping up with.
Thing,
Wickedness. So you're going to...
And especially coming from West at them times.
Yeah, exactly. So you're going to hold an example. Like, you're going to hold it. Sometimes I think the man give me like 18 years IPP, rare. So I'm saying, no, what's he on about?
That's a madness.
It's a madness.
1 firearm charge. How many charges?
I remember them times they see me, when I do jail, I never ever not go without a phone. So them times there I'm on the bus, I just unplug my phone, I'm chatting to my brethren. Tears running down my face, I'll never forget it. In the London Crown Court, going down Blackfriars Road. And I'm saying, brother, they give me a G, you know? They give me a G, I just started tearing eyes. And I'm saying, 18 years, imagine that, 17. You're thinking, them times I used to have a lot of big aspirations. They're like 21, I'm going to be a millionaire and this and that and rare.
When you're younger, years a long time.
The years are
18
long.
is like, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And now you're sitting there going 18 years.
Yeah, that's a madness.
And then IPP, they didn't even, the system, they didn't even explain it. They didn't even understand it. That's why it's such a big stain on the British.
You didn't know what it was them times though.
Didn't know what it was. There was no courses, there was no information, there was nothing. All that they would do, when you go to the office to say, let's say you want to check your record or check what your license is or how long you got till you're going home, they're pulling up 99 years.
Yeah.
You're not going home till 99 years.
Yeah.
You're thinking, what? Then they're coming talking about psychologists and all these other people want to do a report on you because they want to see what courses that you need to do. Now they got courses that they're saying, okay, your case, depending on what your offence was, let's say it was violence. Since your case was violence, and we need to see if it was on impulse or orchestrated. There's another word they use it when it's premeditated violence that you're using. So one of them is impulsive because you're acting on a moment.
Heat of the
Yeah,
moment.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, at the moment, there you go. So all of that's going on. So, yeah.
So I'm laughing because I think I did that test in High Point.
Yeah, exactly. So all of these little rubbishness, this is what they're doing. And then once they get, like everyone in jail is scared of psychologists because a lot of them are trainee psychologists. So they don't know nothing about life.
Okay.
They ain't been in the game for that long. They've done their little 2 year in college, a year in uni or whatever.
That's everything.
You're just a study thing. So
Yeah.
You're just a study thing.
Yeah,
It was like training. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're just part
No
of the training.
benefit. No benefit.
You're part of their course.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they write paper on
true
you.
though.
Yeah.
No, but it's bad though, because there's
true
no
stories,
benefit on the people that they're studying. It's just.
But they're
it's
getting
just
away
them.
with it.
Yeah.
There's no mandate that man's that. I've sat there and done report like this will tell you. I know how to write a good complaint. I make sure. But yeah.
You say that's
But that's a good thing.
Yeah, I make sure I used to read. Because I used to be in the block so many times getting in trouble in front of governors. All the times I'd actually get guilty or get like punitive punishment on an offence or whatever, it was very slim. They could never get nothing on me. Because me, I'll just start wheeling off law. I say, yo, PSO section something of section something states that you would have had to be in control, knowledge and something of this item before did it. Raw.
Okay.
So they're not ready for all of that.
It's the language as well.
It's the language. So now I'm feeling in their own language. Now one thing you've got to remember is most of them they ain't even gone to school.
They don't know.
They don't know nothing. Brother, what qualification you need to open and close doors all day? Sitting with your phone in the locker and you're just sitting there sweating whilst you're just watching the landing. What type of job is that? You're sitting in a prison for 12 parts, let's say 12 hours of the day. You're not communicating with your family, your people outside. So what does that make it? What does that create in you?
You're in prison as well.
They say that, innit? They say you're doing
in prison
time as well.
Well, there you go. You're doing time as well.
Especially in the big places like that.
Exactly. Exactly. Then, go on.
Like, I was just going to stop you a sec because story, I think we'll get to where it ends up. But let's talk about how you both met. If you don't mind.
Yeah, that's cool.
No, before you said you got your
sentence.
18 years, 18 years,
IPP,
17 IPP.
17, yeah.
What's it? Was it one charge?
Yeah, at the time, yeah.
One charge, one firearm.
Yeah, possession of a firearm, bro, yeah. But like I said, at that time, Reece Jones, all these other factors,
Yeah,
innit?
there was a lot of factors, but still though, like, you know, and your barrister didn't fight and be like, you know, that's
No, but you know what it is with barristers? They collude with each other.
That's another thing. They shake hands.
That's
and
what
all
they
that.
do. They do
It's
that a
all
lot.
wink,
They
wink,
were all
shake
friends,
hands.
though, innit?
Yeah.
They're all
No,
friends.
no,
Yeah, but
they
they
went
do
uni and
what
whatever
they try to do. They
together,
try to play off each other. There's a lot of colluding, a lot of
So it's like this case isn't worth me.
My barrister
going
used to
hear,
walk
so-
around the courtroom and shake and touch people's heads. You know that shake man's head and all that.
But like, when
Yeah, but I was when he done that, I was confident. When he did that, I was like,
Yeah, you're busting things. You know your secret.
He's
you're
just
busting.
shaking man's head and I was like,
I've had a conversation with him. Yeah.
I was like, you sunning man like that.
But,
so
no,
you didn't know about IPP, right? So you
Didn't
didn't
know
know what
about
that was. So you had to ask your barrister.
I
what
asked
it
my
was.
barrister. He didn't know what it was. Said he'll go and
Jeez.
come
Yeah,
back.
that's
Didn't know
a
nothing.
big,
bruv.
big issue.
Got a sentence. Went for appeal. Was very close to getting the IPP taken off at the time.
Okay.
And they turned around and said no, the appeal court. So they said no. And that was the last time I saw my dad, bro. I looked back in the courtroom and my dad was there.
Ain't seen him since.
I ain't seen him since. That was like 20 years ago.
Wow.
Ain't seen him since. So yeah, moving on from that. What happened? So
in
yeah,
the court,
so
in the court, they normally like when they sentence you. Obviously, you was already remanded.
Yeah.
You said you was in what jail?
He's a Feltham, innit?
Feltham.
yeah,
And you got shipped
So you
out.
should back to this Feltham.
back to Feltham, got shipped out. Them times there, I'm saying, right, if I know if I sit in a London jail, if I stay in Feltham, I ain't going home. Now I'm taking the seriousness of the sentence. Basically, they're saying, if you fuck about, you're not going home. Do you know what I'm saying? So I had to go up north. So I'm not going like Scotland. Yeah, I put in a transfer request and they ended up sending me up to, I didn't know they were going to send me that far.
Yeah, and then your mum still come, innit?
Brother, I didn't see my mum for 5 years on that bid.
Joking me.
It's too far.
Yeah, I was gonna
Too
say,
far.
because that is
Yeah,
like
we're
a
saying.
different
And she was
journey.
going through disability issues at that time. I went to Garth, which is right up, like it's like between Manchester and Newcastle. It's just like way up north by Portsmouth. Portsmouth up
Nah,
north.
Portsmouth's down south.
Yeah.
Portsmouth's down south.
No, Portland, not Portland.
Portland's Liverpool, no?
I'm trying to think.
No,
It's definitely P.
what's it called?
You know, mom. But go on.
One infamous footballer played up there, man. It's next to Blackpool.
Sure, it's not Newcastle. Next to Blackpool.
Next to Blackpool. So the place was in Blackpool.
Not
so
Preston.
Preston.
Yeah.
Near Manchester.
Thank
okay.
you, Preston. So I was all up them ways.
Yeah.
Get me? So I had one girl at the time that used to hold man down. She come any jail I was in, she'll come hold man down, whatever. But my mum, she was going through a lot of issues at the time, so she didn't even make it. Then before you know it, I started talking like them up there. Because you're up there, you're not up there in London, man.
Yeah.
So imagine sitting in
You're
a
in the,
box
you're
for
in the
like,
culture, though.
yeah, for like 5-6 years, and all you run with is Manchester and
different
Birmingham and
reasons,
Derby.
Liverpool, all them,
Yeah. All them and there. Like, I'm trying to say, like, yeah, blood. And it's just like, what are you talking about?
All of a sudden, you're the odd one out.
Yeah, when are we coming to
Yeah, hey,
visit?
get me back down there, man.
But then you go back down, you sound like them. They're like, who's this guy comes over?
This guy's a
For like a
North.
solid year after that, when I came home, I was just talking like that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But
How do you find it up there?
Yeah.
they deal with you better.
Yeah.
It's more calmer. You don't have to work. Cause remember, London so much gangs.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
the
so
prison
so
environment, where do you
intense,
think they send them?
The same
Send
thing,
them
yeah.
to prison. It's the same thing on a landing. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like,
When you came back to London, what jail did you come back into?
well, I came back to London at the time. I didn't even come back to London on that sentence. I actually got released from Moorlands, which is in Doncaster. So I got released from there, was out doing my thing.
How long did you do before you got released?
I did 5+ years
Okay.
at the time. Came out about 22, 23. And then got in trouble. They attached me to another case, which I still deny up until now, which was a robbery case.
What do you mean? What do you mean by you deny up until now? You still on that
Well,
case now, then?
No, I've done the sentence.
You saying you got
But
wrongfully,
you're
you got
right,
wrongfully
you-
convicted?
You're right to plea in it, to plea with your guilt. So I'm still not guilty, bro.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
But you got done guilty for it.
And I got a guilty for it, and all it was telephones to a man. That was it. Cool.
Well, let me just touch on that, because. So what do you feel about then? Because in terms of like people that get wrongfully convicted,
Yeah.
because that's basically what you were, innit?
Okay. Well, I'll tell you two things, because I don't want to escalate straight into the next part. But let's say I did a sentence for that, so I was out for about a year or so, when I came out on mornings. Then they try to attach me to the robbery case, and I got a 4-year sentence, determinate sentence, meaning release date, served 2. I ended up serving 7 years out of that sentence, bro, because of the IPP. So they made that override the determinate sentence. So now I'm sitting there, 2 years have gone past. I'm now sitting there for another 4 or 5 years, bro. 5 years before I came out. Yeah?
Not knowing when.
Not knowing when. Same scenario, same again, yeah? All of that. This time I went for 4 parole hearings, bro. Kicked out of DCAT twice. That's when I met Izzy. From Belmarsh is when I got recalled initially. Met Izzy, was going through it, doing my next sentence, the 4-year due 2. We met. Izzy was next door to me. So we just used to just chat. And then there's one female officer that just always used to be on to Izzy. So I was thinking, why?
I'm in this zone.
I'm like, and no one thing about her as well, yeah. Me and her got her like a house on fire. Now me, I do jail smart. I'm not on all this basic and sit there with no TV and no. My door needs to be open all of the time. I'm about that comfort life. You know what I'm trying to say? My canteen needs to be fat. Everything needs to be fat. I'm about this. I'm doing a bid.
But it don't need to feel like it's worth.
It's got to be easy. Yeah? Izzy, on the other hand, he loves a good argument. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Does it, eh?
So him and this female officer, yeah? One way I describe her is like, you seen the film Matilda? And you see the teacher that's always on to Matilda, that mistress.
Yeah, I know you're joking.
Trunchbull.
Yeah, the big thing with the bob haircut, whatever.
Yeah.
And she used to be on. That was her. Every time I see her and Izzy get into it, it was an episode of Matilda. Yeah. So
comfy in the cell.
So Izzy
watching
like,
it go down.
Yeah. So Izzy be like, no, S. And what she do? But I saw it. So say Izzy's got to go for his food. So let's say food's at 5 o'clock. Yeah. So Izzy's got to go for his food. Yeah. This woman, she's what's it called?
What's her name? Miss White. Was it Miss White?
Oh, is it Miss White?
I think it was Miss White.
Miss White.
I'm reminiscing.
So yeah, blood. So
Miss White,
so you know, like things like dinner, brother. It's either she opens his door last or don't open his door at all.
So I know he's got under her skin. You know what he like?
You mean piss with your Izzy cellmate?
Yeah.
You know what it was? Yeah, it wouldn't have been that. Like it was like at night time. Yeah, my bed was like, you see the door.
Yeah.
They come round, they check you. Obviously check. They'll go around, and she used to do the nights. You know what she used to do? Yeah, she used to open her flap. Yeah, she sees me laying down, and she would just shine the torch in my face and just keep it there.
Did you see his eyebrows lift up?
And I don't sleep anyway, so I hardly sleep. I might sleep 3 hours of the night and wake up. You know what I mean? I can't put the light on. Everyone else is sleeping. My eyes are wide open. So when she wakes me up when I'm getting that 2 hours sleep, and I'm like, I'm already pissed because I don't sleep. So like, I used to say to her, first, like, miss, come on, man, please. Like, stop doing. Why are you even doing this? Like
In that tone.
Yeah.
No, he was.
Nobody was in that tone. I was respectful, bro.
Really
Bro, you know Martin, bro. I'm respectful to
Every
everyone.
morning he's telling me the situation,
Like,
but he's asking my
when you
advice.
just woke up,
But I'm respectful to everyone. Everyone I meet, I'm respectful to you, innit? To you,
But
disrespect
if they're
me.
not respectful to you.
Yeah, bro. If you can't respect my thing,
Yeah,
then
that
like
was
it's
deep.
long. Like then she just kept taking a piss. I'm like, miss, please.
Yeah.
I thought it was a joke. Like I thought,
Yeah.
why is this woman coming for me? I've never seen
It
this
was
woman in my life.
Because like literally, she'll be at my door. You're right, Michael, whatever. You're right, Mr. Fiddy, whatever my name was at the time, yeah. Because I'll just be feeling them, whatever. You're right, and I'm saying, yeah, I'm good. As soon as she goes to next door, I'm just saying, I'm banging the wall like, yo, turn off the light, man. What are you doing? I'm banging the wall like, yo, Izzy, like, are you good in there? Like, what's going on? And he's saying, oh, nah, blood, nah. And we're talking through the pipe, nah, really. And you know what I imagine,
This girl's taking a piss, man.
Yeah.
She keeps shining the torch in my eye.
And it's
every
like
night.
the environment is like 3 man in a cell. So
Yeah,
I got
bro,
like
it's
3
long.
man in mine. So he's got like 2 or 3 man in his cell. Like it's hot. Like you're just going through it, and it's just like
Bro, it
raw.
was hot, bro. It was summer.
Yeah.
You don't
3 man
understand,
in
bro.
You got 4 man.
No, 3 man banger.
3 man banger.
3 man
in
banger.
a
Yeah,
cell
bro,
that's
it's
meant to
hot,
be for
bro.
1 man,
That's
bro.
already too much stress,
bro.
man, for her to
It's
be
so
There you go. So
stressful,
it's a
bro.
very volatile environment.
Like, it's long.
So-
Like, you're banged up
Where's
all
the
the
mask?
time.
Yeah.
They don't let you out unless to get your food. They're not letting you out for social.
all
You
mad.
can't speak to your people.
It's all
It's
mad.
long,
Dogs
bro.
on the exercise yard. It's
Yeah.
just even when my mum come to visit me, the first visit she was crying. She's like, son, down. Didn't like it. So because I googled this place. Oh, they had what's my man? The madman. That's not even that. They're not made him come home in the best. Bronson.
Yeah.
How did you know that? But
When he said the madman, it came up to his head.
My mum said, "Hey, Bronson is here." And all those terrorists.
I thought that was mad that you ended up in there.
Bro, I can't believe.
So mad that
not
you
just ended up in there, bro. They kept me in there for over 8 months. Bro.
You was in there for time.
Like, they was meant to ship me out straight away.
And then because him and that Miss
We
White
went to do like 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, it's meant to before they shipped me out.
Then they shipped him out to, can I say?
Yeah, of course,
Then
bro.
they
Tell your truth, bro. Like,
They shipped him out to an immigration center. So I remember he come to my door like, yes, I'm getting shipped out. So I'm there doing up Nelson Mandela and all that. No, they can't do that.
Yeah. I got my book. Man's got his smarts, you know. Man's got his smarts. Like, yeah, let me go and tell I'm ready for you.
you know what it is?
I said yes.
Like, you know what it is? 'Cause when I came to him,
He's
yeah.
got time with it, like, no.
When I came to him, I said,
Like,
bro,
you got facts.
because I wanted to get shipped out anyway. But
Yeah.
when I came to him, I said, look, they're shipping me out to Maidstone. He said, what? Nah, bro, that's an immigration. So I didn't know anything, bro.
Yeah,
Like, I'm just getting
like,
shipped out.
yeah,
I heard it was a C-cat. So I'm like, I'm blessed. I'm getting out this
He was
A-cat.
happy. He didn't
I was
wanna come
happy,
back.
bro.
Yeah.
Like, so he goes, nah, bro, that's immigration. And they're shipping you out the country. I'm like, what? I said, what? I said, nah, they're taking a piss. Like, this time, I'm starting to get worried. I'm like, nah, what, they can't do that.
Yeah.
He goes, they think you're not British. So they're looking to, like, just ship you out.
Yeah.
So I'm panicking. I'm thinking, shit.
mad.
Yeah, so he started telling me everything about it. Because I didn't know nothing about it.
You had some trauma in your little...
Bro, massive trauma, bro.
Then he went. Then one day I'm doing up pull-ups in the yard, like a couple months later. I'm thinking, he's finished. He's
I'm gone.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
gone. You don't got that going.
he gave up with him.
You're doing it. It's like...
Good man.
The C-cat.
He was my guy.
I know.
Yeah, bro.
I think I even wrote him. I wrote him when I was there.
I won't forget you, bro.
I wrote him when I was there.
He's a Joe bedroom.
I gave him the wrong last digit. I gave him the number. I ain't seen that guy.
I wrote him, man, bro. I said everything's calm in here. Everything's nice.
I don't like him either.
Everything, you know what? They let us out all the time.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Let us out all the time. We're now in the C-cat.
And then he's walking on the wing.
Then I seen him come outside.
They shipped me
Sat on the
back,
when
bro.
I'm doing my I said, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah, cool.
He's like, yeah, bro, they made a mistake. I had to show them my passport, rest.
Listen, man. You know what? They tried to say they realized they made a mistake. Because I didn't tell them. When I was there, I was nice.
Yeah.
I was out all the time.
Yeah.
I could call my missus. I could call the family anytime I want. Bro,
yeah,
it
I
was
remember
nice
you
there,
said it
bro.
was nice there, actually, 'cause
When they
that's what
come
you got,
visit.
yeah.
You know what it was, yeah? Because he was saying his mum was crying when, like, before a visit. My missus is crying on the visit because when you come in, they search you in in March. They got the dogs. They got everything. Like,
It's proper,
and it's
mad.
proper, like, intensive. Like, so it wasn't nice there. So when I went to the other team, like, she said it was much easier, it was nicer, relaxed, everything. So I was nice there then. Then they found out that they made a mistake. The guy come in there goes, oh, you're going back to Belmarsh. I said, no, I'm not.
I remember.
I said, no, I'm not, mate. Yeah.
English.
I said, no chance, mate. I said, I'm not English.
Like, prove it.
Yeah, I don't have a British passport. I said, it was long, bro.
So he came back. Anyway, we got into it, you know, me and Iz, like, he's just been a good brother. He's been there for me since early, you know. Yeah. And, you know, we just go through it, and then I was happy. I was in DCAT when he was about to get married. Yeah. So I remember when I was meant to come out for the day. To go to his marriage. To come
to the wedding.
And me being me with the system, I ended up getting kicked out of DCAT again. So then I'm there saying, I'm sorry, man. Boom, I get back into DCAT. But Izzy's one brother that came to visit me when a lot of people thought I was down. Do you know what I'm trying to say? When, you know, like, and they'll come and, like, we just reason, man. We just reason, whether it's girl, life, family, we just reason, do you get what I'm saying? And at that time, for me, getting kicked out and losing a few other relationships, like, I was in a place where, looking back at it, I wasn't even myself, bro. Like, that's one thing about prison, man. Let's just keep it real. The moment you step in there, it might sound cliche when they're taking your name and they're giving you a prison number and they're taking your clothes and all these, and they're stealing your can I swear? Yeah. They're stealing your fucking identity, bro. Yeah. They're stealing who you are, what your aspirations are, the prayers that your mum prays about, the dreams that you have when you're laying on your own in bed and you're thinking, "Rah, there's more to life than this, bro." Do you get what I'm saying? So for a brother like Izzy to come and say, "Rah, you know what? I know you're going through it, brother, but man's got you." It's not about money. It's not about these things, but it's about taking your time to drive up. Yeah. So I just want to thank you, Izzy, for that. Do you get what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
So to drive up and do that and give you hope. Do you get what I'm saying?
That's all man got.
That's all man got in there.
That's all we got.
That's all we
That's
got
why a
in
lot of
there.
people say, don't give a person hope if you're not willing to fulfill it.
There you go. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So, looking back at it, do you get what I'm saying? So I went through that period, came home again, and I'm telling you, the period in DCAT, I don't think we got enough time. Otherwise, I'll break down. DCAT's even worse, blood. Like,
Could you feel like it's almost close, isn't it?
it's like home almost closed, but then you got jealousy from other guys because your people are pulling up in whatever to come and get you, and you're just doing you and all these. They're looking at everything.
Yeah. Everything matters.
And then they want everything.
matters.
Then they want
time to see
yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
But
Then they
not
want
just from the prisoners, the staff as
from
well.
the staff
though,
as well,
Yeah,
very
I
much
can
so the
imagine.
staff,
Yeah, bro,
And why should you be so lucky? Why should your family
Yeah.
come and collect you, drive all this way and take you here and do these things? Do you get what I'm trying to say? And then you got next man that's informing because they want an extra day out or extra few hours out. So all of these other things, do you get what I'm trying to say? And when I say informing, just even on the little things, do you get what I'm trying to say? Oh, I see him bring some food back to the jail. What are you talking about, bro? What, man, not allowed to eat? You know what I'm saying? But it's these little things that divide and conquer culture and it's rife in the system. That's another thing. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's just like they don't tell you in full. All they're telling you is pay your taxes and we don't worry about the rest. We'll put them in prison. Don't worry what we're doing with them. Don't worry that they're colouring Peppa Pig and we're raising dunces up in here. Yeah. Or we've got them sitting down for 23 hours.
They just think like, well, they're animals.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
can be caged
And
up
that's
it
the
doesn't
narrative
matter.
that they're
We pay
selling.
money for that. They don't realise these are real people.
No, real people,
Yeah.
real
There's
life
aspirations,
emotions.
do you know what I
Yes.
You know
Real
what?
life,
You
so
know
much
what my
things.
missus said to me? It's weird. Like she said, it was like a death. It's like she was mourning me.
Yeah, exactly. I can
down,
respect
bro.
that
It's
because you're buried alive, bro.
Yeah, it's like it's
You're there, but you're
basically
not there.
Gone.
Yeah,
It's
you're
like
gone.
forgotten.
You're gone, you're behind a wall, yeah.
Luckily, like I must say, like you know, what I mean, I had people. That
So
was there
strong
for me.
support
Yeah,
network.
I had a strong support network.
There you go, and
You
that's
know what I
one
mean?
thing
So,
that
a
definitely
lot of
counts
people
in this,
didn't.
yeah.
I saw a lot of people in there, but I didn't. bro.
They didn't have it, and they were broken. You know, sometimes we see them man there on the roadside with a canister beer, and he's scratching his arse and got a leather jacket on in this heat. Brother, 9 times out of 10, yeah, it's because if it's not a woman or a traumatic situation in life, it's definitely a trigger from jail. Something that's just been grinding till you don't even know who you are anymore. Because remember, the first thing I said is they take your identity. Now after they take your identity, when you enter that place, you're not entering that place with your circle. It's not your social group. So now you're dealing with different people from different social groups. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Now it's like you're amongst wolves. So what skies are you gonna take? You're gonna be the prey. You're gonna be the predator. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So that's what it comes down to.
And no one cares.
And no one cares. No one cares, bro. The only person that cares is the person that picks up at the other end of that phone call. When you got your little 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 20 minutes, yeah? Because even then, they're eating up the phone credit. So that
How expensive is just to make a phone call, bro?
yeah,
It's
bro.
long, bro. That's where
So
most of my money went.
expensive. Phone calls is the most expensive thing in prison,
It's a
hands
robbery.
down. Do you get what I'm trying to
It's
say?
robbery,
And then
Yeah,
they
you just see the numbers
That's the
just
little
ticking
side
down.
to give you that
there you go.
human interaction.
yeah.
Do you know what I
But
mean?
that's
Someone
the-
outside,
but
and
that's
that's
the
the most
narrative.
expensive
But
thing.
no,
That should be the cheapest thing.
talking to the outside world, it will give you a sense of
But they don't want that though, do they?
No, that's the
That's the
narrative
problem,
they're
because that
selling
should
to
be
the
the
public.
cheapest thing, not the most expensive.
Well, there you go. And so imagine them people, thank you. So imagine that the people, they don't have that, bro. Do you get what I'm trying to say? They don't have that. So, you know, we laughed it off about religion, we laughed it off about faith, Belmarsh, but that's where I met Izzy, and that's where, for me, my mum always said, look, son, I can only show you the way you should, the way you should go, teach you the way from right and wrong. She dragged me to church, she took me to all of these places. But for me, the moment that I found God for myself and had a relationship for myself was in Belmarsh. There was a woman there called Alison Smith, yeah? When I mean this woman, like, there's always a stigma around churches and how these pastors take all the money and all this other rubbish, yeah? But she is one woman that I'd say, hands down, with the little that she had in Belmarsh, the way she was able to bring churches from all over the country, all over London.
She was gifted.
She was gifted, blood, to come in and preach, to come in and pray, to come in and just be a support network for man to say, right, you know what, on this Sunday, I can go there. Even if me and my girl got into an argument the night
You start
before
looking
that
forward
week,
to it.
You start looking forward to
Yeah,
it. I
bro.
start putting on my little
Your
after,
release,
my
your
little
release.
aftershave, my release,
Again,
you know what I'm
it's
trying
like
to say?
hope, innit? It's like the realism.
But that's what
There you
outside
go.
rather
that's
than
what
just-
faith is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Walking without seeing.
There you go.
Understand?
So that for me, then before you know it, I started seeing certain things happen in terms of a shift, in terms of just spiritually and these other things. I started reading more. I started educating myself more. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I started putting a plan together. Me and Izzy done a course. We did an IT course or something, then business course. All these other things I was picking up on. Do you get what I'm saying? Because now I'm digging into myself.
Yeah,
The
'cause
stuff
it
that I
took
left
you back,
behind.
You said earlier when you was, however
You finished
old, you was
school.
smart.
Yeah, exactly.
You had that. You always had that to go back
There
to.
you
So
go.
now you feeling human. You feeling like there's
Thank
hope.
you, bro. Exactly.
Then you get back into those things.
Yeah, so them skill sets, them 4 hours that my dad was making me think and standing up with 2 hands up and 1 knee up. Yeah, prepared me. Exactly.
It's mad
You realise why you did
Exactly.
It's mad, it's
Oh,
small
yeah,
things.
yeah.
It comes to
It
some
comes
point.
to man. So now I'm prepped. You know? So now I'm in my jail cell with 2 hands up, 1 foot. Make sure I finish this book. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
so
facts.
I was doing all of that. So man got into all of that, did all of that, and then I came home. I came home on the 4th parole. You know, I came home and I remember it was COVID, and I'll give this to them. And you can have this one for free. I remember I was sitting there. My solicitor said this was in DCAT, and I got to this DCAT after I'd been kicked out of DCAT prior, like I said, when Izzy come to see me. So again, I'm in DCAT. So this is like maybe my 3rd time I'm in DCAT. Now DCAT, they're making it something that I have to do before I come home. It's a necessity. So I'm sitting in DCAT and COVID is hit. And I remember my solicitor saying on the day of my parole hearing, listen, the parole board don't even want to hear your case. They don't even want to hear your case. So it's looking like you're going to sit here through the whole of COVID, yeah? Watch how God works. So I remember I phoned my sister. I was sitting in the room, yeah? And I phoned my sister. I said, yo, sis. I said, they're not even trying to... I remember I tried to call my mum, but you see my mum, she's a prayer warrior. So she probably all on the phone to other prayer warriors. So I couldn't even get through to her, yeah? So I phoned my sis. So my sis is like, yo, like, bro, I don't tell you this very much, but if I was you, I'd just have a conversation with God, you know, just pray about it. I said, you know what? All right, cool. Locked off the phone. I'm just sitting there. I'm steaming for about 5 minutes thinking, hold on, they've had me here for like how many more years? And I've been waiting for this parole hearing for like 18 months. If I don't get this parole, it's going to be like another 18 months by the time COVID. I remember that time, early COVID, no one knew what the hell was going on. No one knew what the hell was going on. Nothing came going on.
Been the worst place to be.
Brother, listen. Anyways, I've said this short prayer. I phoned back my solicitor. I said, yeah, I want to go through with it, man. I'm going through with it. You're mad. I'm going through with it. I've got nothing to lose. If I don't go for it,
exactly.
I have to
You're
sit down for
sitting
9
anyway.
months,
Yeah,
2
yeah,
years
yeah,
anyway.
regardless,
If
same
I go for it, like, I'm going home. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And if they told me no, it's still going to be another 8. I've got nothing to lose. She said, all right, Mr. Felipe, we'll go for it. Boom. Had the meeting. It was over the phone because it was COVID and times there. So I'm telling the parole board what's been going on with me, how I've not been able to achieve certain targets they wanted me to achieve because of me getting kicked out, but it's no fault of my own, and how I proved this and that. And what my dreams and aspirations were, what my plans are for when I get home, and what my support network looks like and what it involves and what my plans are. I just told them everything. Now, let me tell you something for free. 3 other men went for parole. 4 other men went for parole that day. I was the only man that got parole. Certain man, they told them to come back in 2 years. Certain man didn't even hear their case.
They believed in what you were saying.
They believed in what I was
No,
saying.
even you just saying it there, I believed in it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're saying real things.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
bro.
mean? You're
Yeah.
coming with like there's what you're saying. There's no need for questions after.
Yeah.
But I feel like with the parole system though, they just pick one.
Exactly.
Nah.
I feel like, no, but hold on, no.
I know
But
what
hear
he's
what
gonna
I'm
pick
saying.
the best.
What
I know
I'm
where
saying
he's
though,
coming from.
they'll hear
And I'll
everything he's
explain
saying.
Yeah.
They'll listen to his arguments, good arguments. The other 3 might be good arguments, but they'll still pick
Plus
one.
your probation, what they
Probation,
have
everything,
to say.
what they have to
It's
say.
Yeah, but
Inside
you know
prison.
what it is? Do you know
Even
what it
though
is?
all 4 arguments might be like his, everything probation, they won't give all 4 probation.
It's about
They won't
sticking
give
to your
all 4.
word, though.
But then one thing,
But
you
you
know,
also
one thing,
think
let me
because
tell you
COVID-
something. Let me tell you why Izzy's right. Let me tell you why you're wrong about sticking to your word. Because up until then, yeah, even the things that they tell you they want you to do, the targets, maybe you go out so many times, maybe you spend time at home so many times. You could do that all to the T, keep your word and show an example in your behavior. But for whatever reason, brother, if they don't want you to go home, or if someone feels like there's just a little whatever, or whatever the devil may be that day, you're not going home. It don't matter if you've done. They'll move the goalpost, is what I call it. They'll look for another reason to move the goalpost and have you sitting down for another year or another 2 years. And then you're telling your mum, I ain't coming home.
Yeah.
I ain't coming home. I'm not going to be there.
No
this
reason,
Christmas.
no fault of your own,
no
bro.
solid reason,
No
no
fault of your
solid
own.
fault of your own. No, not, let's say, they caught you with a phone beforehand.
They've
You're
got
so
too much
stupid.
power,
I know
though, bro.
There's nothing to do with that.
It's just
there you go.
It's like playing a board game.
Yeah,
it's life,
it's
Exactly that. And you will meet the worst people on this earth in that place in terms of officers. You'll meet the I've seen man kill himself, and the women officer that cut the man down is back into work the next day. And when my brethren said to her, Miss, look, I've been in this jail for 10 days. I've just come off the rolls. I can't call my family. I ain't got no money. I ain't got no food. Can you please open this door so my brethren can give me some food? No. So this is the type of people you're dealing with.
There's no compassion in it.
There's no, you get what I'm trying to say? There's no compassion, there's no understanding. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's already in a volatile environment. And that's already in an environment where the good ones, in terms of good officers or good education staff or wherever the staff may be, they're now seen to be the bad guys because they're helping you out, because they're being understanding.
And they're frowned upon, yeah.
And they're frowned upon.
Yeah,
Do you get what I'm trying to say? Now they have to watch their back.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? This is the culture that is breeding. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So when you as a taxpayer is paying your money and thinking, yeah, they're just animals. Nah, not all of us.
It's weird you say that, the animals. I was just thinking about the zoo comparison because that's when you're in there, you're just an animal.
It sounds
and
the
they're
same,
the zookeepers. And like there's a
sounds
lot of the
the same.
zookeepers that treat animals like with
Some
animal
care
cruelty.
and some don't. Some
And like
it's
you know what I mean?
just
They'll be prodding you.
Perfect.
And you're like,
And that's what you had with Miss White. She was just always prodding. They were prodding each other.
you know what it was?
I feel like there was a lot of sexual tension.
Nah,
And
He went to that earlier.
I know you, man.
He went to that earlier.
nah, but you know what? It was hell no, bro. I've never seen this woman in my life.
I know.
Till she started pointing that flash ring in my face,
Maybe
bro.
for the end, she wants to your face.
I know. In all honesty,
It was mad, bro.
in all honesty, like, if she wants to get picked on, because I've been through it, once it feels like there's a target on your back, there's nothing you can do, bro. It's survival of the time. If you can cut through and survive every hit, bro, you're doing your thing. You're
It's like
taking-
anything, though.
You're right.
If your face
Yeah,
fits
you
with
got-
certain
you got-
people,
And you know what-
You know
Exactly.
what I want to talk about? What happened when you got out? And
That's what I want to like. We've got to that stage now.
Okay,
The
yeah.
positivity,
Talk about, because
what
you know, a
you've
lot
done now,
of
do you know what
man,
I mean?
a lot of man, they go back into the system.
Okay,
innit?
now let me tell you something for free. Okay, cool. So I've got out. I remember this like yesterday, and I'll just keep it real. I came out the hostel. They put me in a hostel and all these other things when I initially got home a few years ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and
Whereabouts have you done that?
the hostel. At the time I was in Richmond. Really
So they
nice.
kept you over.
Yeah.
Yeah, really nice.
Posh thing.
Yeah, posh
But it's hard to get back and forth.
Yeah, not even Chelsea.
It's hard to get back and forth.
Big
Yeah.
garden,
I
big
walked
garden
down
to
the
get
Thames,
back.
yeah.
Because it was,
Yeah.
Man
So,
said I'm walking on the Thames.
yeah, I walked down the Thames, a pint of cider. It was nice, you know what I'm saying? So,